Yes, welcome everyone here to the Dandenong Basketball Stadium here, of course, for the pre-season tournament here between, of course, we're about to get underway, Kilsyth and Melbourne. But last game, we saw Geelong just hung on to defeat Ringwood 53-48 in VYC Women. Of course, we've got two very special guests, of course, for the Geelong Supercats team. Join us right now, and thank you for joining us, both of you. And tell you what, you had to really work hard for it.
We did, definitely.
What was the plan going into that game?
I think just to work hard on defence. That was our aim towards the start of the season. And I think we pulled it off. We fell apart a bit at the end of the game, but we managed to pull it off still, so it was good.
Yeah.
Now, Emma, you had 4 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, and 40% from the field. How do you think you played yourself?
Better than last season.
That's always a positive. Now, of course, obviously forgot your name already. Tiana, sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah, you had 7 points, 11 rebounds, 3 assists in that game, as well as 3 steals, about 40% from the field. How do you think you played personally yourself?
Just about the same, better than last season. I think it was just a team effort tonight, really.
Yeah,
Everyone working together, which is how we play better, is with everybody else supporting you and getting around you. So, yeah.
There was definitely a lot of support from the bench as well today, which has been really good.
Yeah.
Now, Ringwood couldn't handle Georgia Vari today. Now, she shot the lights out from beyond the arc, 3 from 5 from beyond the arc, 18 points. Tell us a bit about Georgia.
I definitely think she's always been a strong outside shooter, and teams that don't recognise her beautiful outside shot have really got another thing coming.
And her drive.
Yeah.
She's just got it all, really. We're very lucky to have Georgia on our team.
How do you, and of course the other player, of course, which I know her from Werribee last season, is Jess as a party.
Yeah.
Jeez, what a great pickup you got there in Jess as a party. She had a blinding today, 13 points, 10 rebounds, a double-double for her, considering I think I would say she's a shooting guard, a point guard. That's a good effort. How do you manage to get her?
She came down
lucky.
the highway.
She came to us. We were very lucky.
No, definitely. She's quick on the floor, and I think that's going to be an asset all season.
How important is it to win that first game? I know you would definitely want to improve from last season, missing out on the finals. I guess that would have been a great start to the season.
Definitely. We're very proud of the girls.
Yeah, very happy.
Now, for both of you, what's I guess the plan going to this season? Is it to make the finals? Is that almost an expectation to pretty much make the finals this season?
Yep.
Yeah, definitely. And to be best team defensively. That's one of our main goals this season.
And you both of you are definitely right there, because I think something I really saw this year, especially today's game to what I saw last year from Geelong, was that you really clamped down defence really well today, and you really pulled Ringwood out of their game rhythm, and especially on Inez Lee today. Was that something you really worked on the pre-season and going into this one?
Yeah, definitely. We're hoping to be a really strong defensive team all year, and I think it was nice to be able to get the ball rolling in the first game.
Now, both of you have been captains of the teams. My memory serves me correct. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, that's good. Now, tell us how special is it to be selected as captains and vice captain, respectively, by your team members or by your coach?
It's a bit of an honour. It's really nice to be supported by the girls, and for them to have a bit of respect and show that they really value what you have to say. So it's nice.
Yeah.
And what's so special about being part of this Geelong team?
The environment's amazing at Geelong, not only within our team, but all the teams at Geelong are all one big family. That's what I love about it. So, yeah.
Definitely. Yeah,
Everyone
I
gets around each
second
other.
that.
Now, of course, Geelong has a Seabull team and a BigV team, of course, in the competition. Is both your goals to make it to that Seabull level or even the BigV level?
Possibly, one day.
Yep.
Yeah.
When we're old enough.
Yeah. Well, we're young.
I'm
we
not
might
that
as
far
well
away,
be
but
in the 23s.
Now, I have to go to you now. If I don't know if I'm right or not, but do you have a sister playing for Geelong as well?
I have 2 sisters.
Oh,
and,
okay.
yeah, one does play for Geelong in the Seagull team, Ebony. Yeah.
I know that she was part of the championship team last season in
Yeah.
Big V. Obviously, I'm hoping that you're trying to square that leisure in the championship-wise and maybe win this one and just say, well, I'm
back
catching
at
up to you now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep, okay.
Yeah.
Now, what position do both of you play on the court for everyone out there who somehow missed the game and who wants to get out to a Geelong game and try and figure out what both of you are playing on the court?
I'm point guard.
And I am the tallest, so I'm the 5.
Is that both your preferred position or would you rather another position?
I don't think I'm tall enough to play any other position.
Oh, okay.
I've always struggled with being a 3-point shooter and a point guard, but when you're 6'1", you don't really get a choice. So, I'm happy playing where I am. Get some good support from the guards, so makes it easy for me.
Don't worry. I think me and Emma share something in common there. We're both point guards. So there you go. Now, tell us a bit about the team. As mentioned, of course, by looking at the team, it looks almost very similar last year, but I'm guessing there's a couple of changes. Tell us about those changes that he's had, who's coming into the team, other than obviously Jess, as I mentioned.
Yeah, we've had a few girls coming up from the under-18s, which is nice. They're making the transition into senior basketball. And we've got... and we've got a couple of girls returning from last season who have stepped up their game as well. So it's nice to have a couple of new girls coming through, sort of build the team a little bit, and we've got a few more numbers than what we did last season.
It's tough losing both Laurens, though, from last season, but, yeah, what we've gained is just as good, and I think it's a lot of us that played last year, attitudes have changed a lot, and that's changed the way we all play today, I think, compared to last season.
Yeah, definitely.
And obviously now, I guess no one really expects much from Geelong this season. I'm saying it because the Big V team definitely pretty much says they're not expecting too much from Geelong this year, but I'm going to prove them wrong. I've got you in the finals in my top half of the ladder, so please prove me right.
Yeah. We've got nothing to lose.
In other words, you've got nothing to lose.
And everything to gain.
Yes, exactly.
Correct. Now, who do you think is going to be your real challenge in regards to, who do you think when you're going to come up against, is there a team there that you might think, you might have to improve a lot more against that team?
Looking at the scores from this morning, I think Knox going 80-30 against Waverley, I think it was. They're definitely going to be a challenge.
Yeah, I don't think you want to mention that result because I've got a Waverley guy next to me. So, on that one. Now, I guess against the other teams, do you think you're going to do really well against like your Diamond Valleys, your Ballarat's? Because those two teams went to OT earlier today. Do you think you can match up against those two and really win it in those sort of contests?
Yeah, well, we played a practice match against Ballarat and they really gave us a run for our money, but watching them today and the way we play today, I really think we can give them a run for their money. So, yeah.
And tell us, we'll finish off with a couple of light-hearted questions. Now, do either of you have any embarrassing moments on the basketball court?
I can't know. I always trip over
Wait,
my
today?
feet.
Or, yeah.
No, throughout your basketball career.
I'm not really... Yeah, I'm sure there's been a lot, but to put my finger on just one is a bit hard.
I tripped over in a warm-up.
That counts.
Who has the most embarrassing moment in the team so far this season, and what was it?
I think, I wouldn't say embarrassing, but Jess as a party just says
Her
some
altogether.
very funny things. So she's definitely a character. If you ever get a chance to have her on the radio, definitely hit that one up.
Yep, I've actually done that before. So there you go. Now, who's the comedian in the team?
I'd say
Jess.
Jess.
Yeah, definitely Jess.
Who has the best and worst jokes in the team, and you can include your coaching staff?
I don't know. No one's really told any
Yeah.
bad jokes just yet.
Just
We're all
yet.
starting to get to
After
know
the
each
end
other.
of the season.
Yeah.
Is there, you know, I know it's a team game, but is there anyone who's a show off and the team's all about me on the court who likes to be a bit of a clown?
Oh, Jess is a bit of a clown, but like as far I think we're really trying to work on this season, bringing everyone together as a team, and I think the first game showed that we're starting to really do that.
We really gelled today, a lot better than last season already, and it's only first game, so I think we have a lot to look forward to this year.
And is there, I guess, a clumsy one in the team?
Brianna, she's injured actually. She didn't play
right.
She's definitely clumsy. I think she falls over every training. She's a character too.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, and finally, describe the team in a couple words for us.
I don't know. I think we've got a lot of potential for this year, given that last year there's not really any expectations on us to sort of take anything out, but I think we'll probably surprise a few people this year. That was a few more than a few words, but that's sorry.
No, well, that's actually almost summed up my few words, so you did very well there. But both of you, thank you so much for joining us. Congratulations on the win. Well deserved. I had to work hard for it to do it, but well on the win. Great start, and I think I might be on the Geelong bandwagon this year. I think I've been on a couple of bandwagons now throughout this tournament, but I think I'm on the Geelong bandwagon this year, and especially it's funny enough because both of you is actually my favourite players, actually. So there you go. Don't tell that to your teammates. But thank you so much. Best of luck, and I'm sure I'll get to see Geelong back here in Melbourne, and hopefully become a bit more of a lucky charm for you. So I know I didn't go too well last year. So let's hope this starts us all off and on the way to a championship.
Yeah.
Thanks very much for having us.
Thanks for having us.
No worries. We'll be back in just a moment.
And while Will has been finishing up his interview with the Geelong girls, Kilsyth has got out to a 3-point lead over a very much a new-look Tigers team here. Tom Chambers, their captain from last year, not playing. Remo has gone to Nunawading. We saw him play earlier in the year, earlier in the day. And, of course, Luke Hughes left, and a couple of the other guys moving up into the senior ranks as well, either because of age or just drafted into that particular squad. New coach also with Melbourne Tigers. Kilsyth moving the ball very quickly. And with 3 minutes into the game, they've drawn the Tigers into 3 fouls. Yeah, get him. So 2 points to the Tigers gets them onto the board. Kilsyth absolutely dominating at both ends of the court at the moment.
9-2 score, Andrew. And tell you what, look, you expect that from a team who's done very, very well in past seasons, who made it to both to the last 2 grand finals in VY. And I think there's a timeout's going to be called here again for Melbourne. But Andrew, when you take on a Kilsyth team, obviously you've obviously seen it in action when Kilsyth came out to Waverley. You can't take Kilsyth lightly, and no, they're going to punish you.
They certainly are, and
they made the last 2 grand finals.
Yeah, and also what I was saying while you were tailing up is that they're pretty much, Melbourne's pretty much a new team. There's not too many of those guys there that were on the squad for last year. They're a completely new team, and they're pretty much a new coach as well. Well, not pretty much, it is a new coach. So this squad is going to take some while to gel. Whereas if you look at the Kilsyth squad, Tornado, Jensen Booth, McCann, Jordan Adnan, it's Kyle's younger brother.
Yep.
Again, they're the nucleus. They are the core group that, as you said, made the last 2 finals.
And and won 1 and lost 1.
Yeah.
Because they beat Diamond Valley in season 1. And then
in an upset. That was very unexpected too. So that was a very good win for them.
And then,
but that was with Kyle Adnam in the team, and he was absolutely outstanding that season.
And of course, last season falling to Waverley.
Yeah, and to what was a very, very strong Waverley team with all the kids. Basically, Eric just played the kids that had come back from college in that final, so it was about a 6 to 7 person team. So.
And this
against a group of kids that had played together all season, but didn't quite have the firepower to match them. I mean, Kwani was absolutely on fire that game.
Of course, that was on BigV Live. Yep. That was a Sunday game, I think, if my memory serves me correct, because I had to be down at Baronia for the women's game. Here's the 2 on the way. Oh, Banks at home there. The margin is a couple of points here, and
15-2.
And you know what? This will challenge the character of the Melbourne Tigers today.
Yeah.
This will show if they've got it or not in regards to the character and the determination of the Melbourne Tigers. And see how far they can go. Well, they've done pretty well in that little sequence, but they couldn't bank it home there.
Yeah, 3 offensive rebounds in a row, but not one going in.
15-2 score. Kilsyth in front. Bounce pass in, board 2 on the way, foul. And, and it's funny, Andrew, because this is very similar to what Knox did to Waverley at the start of the tournament.
Yeah, and both squads, both the Tigers squads and Waverley are basically young kids coming through and playing their first season of at this level.
Made both 17-2. Last year, with their senior men pretty much completely depleted because most of those kids they had in that team went to college really early. I think it was midway through the season.
Yeah, Jack Gay's going down to Frankston.
That would have hurt too.
So he moved down there, and I think he played Seaball.
Correct.
As part of that, and then you had. At the end of the year, you had quite a number of guys going. Iggy, for instance, is over in college. He hasn't come back and played. So all the guys from Boise State haven't come back. So the Tigers program did very well to get them there. Jack Purchase, of course.
Yeah, he went through halfway through the season.
And he was, if you remember the tournament last year, he was absolutely dynamic in the first part of in that tournament and in the first part of the season as well. Talking about Tigers glitterati.
Yes.
And names like Purchase and so on. Andrew Gaze has come in. He's obviously...
there he is.
Yep.
Of course...
obviously here to watch his daughter play. Daughters, I should say, play.
Even though he's actually not watching that game at the moment. But of course, he's the coach, of course, in State Champ Men. But I must say he'd be quite concerned on how his youth team's playing against Kilsyth at the moment.
Yeah, and of course he started his senior coaching career with Tigers coaching this particular squad. Well, not these same kids, but he had been coaching some domestic junior teams, and he's put his hand up to do it. Look, you know, all credit to the Gaze family. They are very, very much committed to the Tigers and developing basketball, not just here at Tigers, but in Australia, throughout Victoria.
Talking about Melbourne Tigers, Andrew, VYC women, Melbourne are in front, 19-17.
Against whom?
Sandringham. That's a very good start by the Tigers.
Yeah, because Sandringham has been very good the last 2 years.
Winning it in Season 1. Came very close to making it in Season 2. Inboard, out it goes. Let's see who's done the damage for the Tigers. It's like it's Emily Suckling with 8 points. Of course, she's a little point guard. And 3 to August Leafy. The Gaze sisters, of course, the Gaze sisters. Courtney with 1 point and Phoebe with no score yet. But that's early on.
Now, Courtney's in the States too, isn't she? She's moved across there, I think.
She has. I don't know if she's coming back. She's going back there again, though. But I'm guessing she is because she... Otherwise, I don't think she'd be eligible to play State Champ Women.
Yeah, but it's the college that she's at, so different college competitions over there have different rules. She certainly can't play. I don't think she can play if she's going to an NCAA Div 1 club. I don't think she can play in a team that's got professional paid players.
Okay.
Or play against paid players.
So, Andrew, in the case of Waverley, what can't Georgia do when she comes home, if she comes home?
She can't play.
She can't play at all?
No. Well, again, it depends on the league that she's in. She may be able to suit up and play in the youth league squad, but I would suspect that...
Since she's a starter.
Yeah, I would suspect that the conference rules for her would be that she can't play in another competition. And while we've been talking about that, Melbourne has managed to get another couple of points up there. So it's 20-6. And
they forced a turnover.
Yeah, just a bad pass there from the Kilsyth players.
Of course, George is playing for Gonzaga, which is a great school out in where is it? Spokane, Washington.
Yep. So they're currently in their tournament phase, which is
I'm just going to find that out now.
They've won the regular conference
easily. Let's face it.
Yeah, they did that with 4 games to spare. They'd actually won that, and that was for the 20th year in a row, I believe. That they won that particular title.
Of course, yesterday they defeated LMU 70-50, and LMU is 7 out of 24.
Yeah, they're not doing particularly well. Those of you who remember the old Adelaide 36s, of course, will know the coach of the boys at LMU, and oh gosh,
turnover
One
here.
of those brain fades as I'm trying to do 4 or 5 different
Oh,
things.
no, that's right.
Mike Dunlap.
Yeah.
He, of course, went and coached for a while the Charlotte Bobcats.
Yep.
But only didn't quite make out his first season, so he's moved back into college coaching at LMU. But LMU is a much smaller university down in
Whereabouts is
in the
that? I
south.
can't remember. Yeah.
It's in towards San Francisco.
And
But anyway,
sorry.
The win over LMU has put Gonzaga into the semi-finals.
Which they take on the 5th seed BYU.
Yeah, and they've had the woods over BYU during the regular season. And
They have, and they just
having watched all but one of the games this season, I would suggest that that's not a fait accompli, but they should get through that.
Of course, they beat them at home early in the season, 78-62, and then they went to BYU to Utah and won by 7, 73-66, which broke a 2-game losing streak.
Yeah.
And count the basket and the foul in this one, and Kilsyth are steamrolling Melbourne at the moment.
Yeah, they certainly are. Look, it's been going a bit basket for well, not quite basket because Melbourne hasn't been putting them into the through the hoop, but it's been sort of foot race from one end of the court to the other as we've been talking. There's not been a lot of structured offense. Neither defense has been really holding each other up.
And of course, if Georgia and the Gonzaga team wins that semi-finals, which based on head-to-head in the regular season they should, they will go to the following day to the WCC, so the West Coast Conference Championship round, which will be played the following day, which will be Wednesday our time, Tuesday their time, because that game against BYU is Monday their time, Tuesday our time.
And I haven't looked at the brackets and the results, which you've got in front of you there, but my betting is that they'll either come up against St Mary's or Pacific. And when they do, it means we've got Australia versus Australia. Well, not quite. Australians versus Australia.
Well, of course, what was it, quarter time here?
Yeah, it is quarter time. So,
sorry, I'm looking at the...
It is one of the conferences that has actually got a lot of representation from Australian players.
And I'm just going to have a look at the bracket now as we speak, because if I can find the bracket for you, I will certainly do that. Okay, so the bracket looks a little bit... Oh, hang on. Finally got the bracket here. We'll just go to the women's bracket. I do apologise to our listeners out there. We're just trying to get the bracket up for our listeners out there, which I somehow lost the bracket. So just bear with me for one moment. So 27-8 in this game.
Yeah, and really Melbourne hasn't shown a lot so far. You know, it's again following the script that we've seen with a lot of these games here on Court 1, that there's been one dominant team that's pushed it out, and
now sorry, I'll just get back to you.
So we found the
Pacific and St Mary's gone. They're lost.
Pacific, really?
They lost to San Francisco by 10 points. So the sixth seed San Francisco has knocked over Pacific.
That is absolutely huge. Although San Francisco has been playing very well of late. Their big centre, Lorraine Ederain, is a stunning player, great player. And they're very, very well coached. But that is a huge turn-up. Pacific, the first team, well, really the only team to to give Gonzaga an issue. So,
Wow.
this is really huge.
10 of course, start of the second quarter here. Now I'll read through the scores in those ones. As I mentioned, San Francisco 74, the 6th seed. San Francisco 74 defeated Pacific 64. So Pacific is gone. Gonzaga, of course.
They were second or third seed, I think, weren't they?
Pacific was third seed. Of course, Gonzaga defeating LMU, of course, first v 8th. It was 70-50 win to Gonzaga. The 4th v 5th seed, St. Mary's, lost by a point, 65-64 over BYU. So St. Mary gone as well.
So Brigham Young into the next game. So Gonzaga will then play?
Brigham Young. And of course, San Diego, their second seed, defeat Santa Clara 51-42.
And I'm pretty certain that Brigham Young is the team that
they got the wood on them at the moment.
that Georgia, but I'm pretty certain that Georgia actually had her season high score against Brigham Young as well. So that's really looking good. But what a shame! I was looking forward to having the Australians in the finals. I thought that was a given.
So that means the setup looks like this. The semi-finals, first seed Gonzaga 23-6. They take on BYU 21-9, who are the 5th seed. So the third seed and the 4th seed gone. So that's gonna be a good game. I think Gonzaga will probably get the win, but based on what we saw from Pacific and St. Mary's, that's no given.
The problem that Gonzaga has is that there were two losses that they've had.
It's very late.
Late in the season, and that basically said, put them under enough pressure, and they're beatable. So it's really going to be about how disciplined Gonzaga can come out, how much they can stick to their game plan. They are just awesome in terms of what they can do, both inside and outside. Ellie Tinkle has been an absolute revelation.
That's all right.
This season. Georgia.
Even though Georgia started.
Yeah, Georgia started each season. But the interesting thing was that Georgia went into the season with all the other coaches saying she's not a three-point shooter.
Whoa, hang on.
Exactly. And she has absolutely dispelled that idea. So you leave her free, she will score on you.
And trust me, we've seen that before.
Yep.
Both of us. So you think Gonzaga should dispatch BYU, considering their last time they played, which snapped that loss, 2-game losing streak against BYU in Utah?
Yep. I don't see why they shouldn't. Look, I'm also very impressed with their coach, Lisa Fortier,
who won Coach of the Year again.
No, first time.
Oh, is it? I thought she won.
No, she's a first-time head coach.
Oh, okay, there you go.
And as we've been talking about this,
Melbourne's just gone bang, bang, bang.
Melbourne.
I think Melbourne wants to get us to keep talking about this because they would just claw themselves back in this now. 11 seconds left. Here's Kilsyth. Finally makes a basket. Margin is 14. 29-15. Just going back to Gonzaga.
Yeah, no, Lisa Fortier, first-year coach. Three young kids. There's a great video on interview with her and how she manages her work-life balance.
Yep.
Along the way, but she just seems to have got a really great team chemistry going there amongst the kids and with her supporting coaches as well. So she's been in the Gonzaga program for the last 10 years, working under the Kelly Graves.
And I believe she's got her own show too.
Yeah, that's the other interesting thing, and that, it's something I believe that all the Big V clubs could learn from.
Okay.
Is that Gonzaga is very, very active on social media.
Correct.
They're very, very active
Agree.
in different bits and pieces. They have a tie-in with a local restaurant, as we get a 3-pointer there. So it's 32-16.
16 points the margin.
Yeah.
Back to the Big V and Gonzaga.
Yeah, so they've got some tie-ins with local restaurants and the local FM station, or one of the local FM stations in Spokane, and so she's taken over the Kelly Graves Show, as we can see another show on court here.
Margin's 18. Melbourne trailing Kilsyth by 18 points. Melbourne drives to the basket, up and under, short. Rebound now by Kilsyth. And it's, we'll get back to that in just a moment. Here's Kilsyth. Oh, great play to the basket that time. And the margin is 20.
And that's what Kilsyth did in the first quarter. They just came out, they ran it hard down the floor. That quick transition, not letting Melbourne get into any kind of rhythm.
And a miss there for Melbourne. I don't think Andrew Graves is quite happy with that at the moment. I can just, as soon as that miss, I directly looked at him and he's just rolled his eyes thinking, what's going on here? Oh, hang on. And somehow got it back and got it home. 36-18. And, of course, I wonder if Georgia can make some influence at Gonzaga and bring a couple of those great players they're playing over there to the Big V, maybe.
Who knows? Who knows?
Timeout has been called. Timeout. 38-18 here. Kilsyth leading. 5:09 remaining.
So the great thing for Georgia, this the player from Waverley, and I have to proudly say the Timberwolves Basketball Club, which was her domestic team.
Yep.
Is that she looks to now be making to her second appearance at the end of the year competition, the big dance, as they say. First time with the junior college national competition. Unfortunately, her North Idaho missed out.
They did.
Last year, but she looks like to be making it again. This time in Div 1.
And of course, her North Idaho teammate in Renee Mockey, who plays at Case in the Big V, and have another great, outstanding season over there for Idaho Vandals, who have 4 Australians in that team.
Yeah, and Stacey Barr has absolutely been killing it over there in the senior year. So Stacey from Altona, the girl, I watched a bit of the girls, the Altona girls playing here earlier today. That was looking good. You should just check out how they've gone in their conference group.
Yep, absolutely. I'll let you take the play for this one while we
while
have
you
a
find
look.
out. Yeah, so Melbourne's again driving hard and beat the Kilsyth defence there. Great drive there.
I think if my memory serves me correct, Andrew, I think this is Stacey's last season at the Vandals.
Yeah, it is indeed. She's in the senior year. And we've...
Yep, they just had to send off just before. Senior send-off.
Another 2 points there to Kilsyth.
Because I think if my memory serves me right, I think the Vandals are in the WAC, the WACC, I think my memory serves me correct. And, no, they're in the Big Sky this year.
They moved to Big Sky.
At the moment, they're 14 and 15 overall. They're 8 and 10 in the Big Skies. So they've lost a couple of games on the road.
But again, like Gonzaga and all the others, they're in the conference phase of the competition.
Yep. And they've won the last 2 games after losing very close games too, by the way.
Yeah, so there was a great article on pick and roll. So those of you who want to keep up with basketball here in Australia, there's some absolutely fantastic basketball sites that, and the one pick and roll as the Tigers pick up another foul. Pick and roll, Damien Arsenis from Warrandyte looks after that particular organisation and does a great job.
Absolutely. Used to be the former WNBL media manager too.
Oh, really? Really? Okay. So, no, they're doing a great job. And then there's a young fellow up in Queensland that is also doing some great stuff. And you'll find him on basketballexpressions.net.
Correct.
Which is really good. And so he'll let you know about. You'll be able to go there and find his on his site how all of the students, all of the kids have gone, not just at Div 1, but across all of their different divisions.
Correct. That's men's and women's too. And unfortunately, my internet's just froze at the moment, so I do apologise for our listeners out there. So it has to happen in the last game, didn't it? But we'll be back up and running soon. Just having a look at the conference schedule in the Big Sky. And the other game is San Diego take on San Francisco.
That will be very interesting because, again, San Diego, the only other than Pacific, the only other one to beat Gonzaga this season.
We had a 9-point win earlier before. Of course, second seed, actually.
And actually, I could have been wrong. I think Edirane is actually San Diego, not San Francisco.
And San Fran upset Pacific. So that's no given either.
So the BYU game will be a tough one for Gonzaga.
See, if they can win that game by at least over 10 points, then I would say that would state themselves in pretty good nick. Unfortunately, not having much luck at the moment there with the internet at the moment. So just
Foul on Kilsyth.
Yep, so that puts them over the bonus, over the limit.
Oops.
And I'm just having a look at the brackets for you. You continue to play while my internet.
Yep, 1 point scored.
I can safely, I can tell you, Andrew, this is what the Big Sky tournament's going to look like. The quarterfinals, game 1, it will be the 7th seed Montana State take on Sacramento State.
Sacramento and Montana.
Of course, yep, and that's the number 2 seed. Number 6 seed, North Dakota, take on the number 3 seed, Northern Colorado. That's game 2. In number 5th seed, Northern Arizona, take on the number 4 seed, Eastern Washington, which actually has Louise Brown, who is another one inspector, of course, playing for Eastern Washington. And number 8th seed, Idaho State, will take on number 1 seed, Montana, which means the Vandals not involved in it this year.
Unless they can win that game.
No, that's the quarterfinals. So I think they're out.
Oh, so that's the
That's it.
final result?
That's it. Yep. So
So they lost that game?
they actually won the last two, but I don't think they had enough win-loss. I think they had an 8-10 record. So, which unfortunately wasn't enough. Short there for Melbourne. It's a 21-point lead into the final minute of the first half. We'll have a look at Sandringham and Melbourne just a moment or two. And Banks at home. So margin here is, well, blowing out now to 23.
Points. 23 points at coming up into half time.
And Melbourne and Sandringham all tied up at 30 in VYC women. So Melbourne putting up a challenge. And a very good challenge. Half time in that game. Sandringham 30, Melbourne 30. So, Kilsyth with the last play. They're down at 5. No. Rebound by Melbourne, and a foul's been called with 2.3. That puts them, well, remains over the limit. And that is the end of the first half, Andrew. 46-26 at the half. Kilsyth leading Melbourne in, well, not quite a great game of basketball, but it is a 20-point lead. Melbourne put up a bit of a fight there towards that second quarter, but at the end it is a 20-point lead. And we'll be back in just a moment. Yes, welcome everyone back here to our broadcast here on Falcons TV and on Smash FM. 46-26 is Kilsyth's lead over Melbourne. For our Smash FM listeners, well, we had a bit of a rocky one there towards the end of that first half. But we are back underway, which is good to see. But, well, Melbourne are right up to Sandringham right now, though, in the women's game, Andrew. 40-41. They've actually hit the front and scored the last 4 points. 6 minutes to go in the third quarter, and it's 41-40. Leading scorers, Cassie Hill with 14 points with Sandringham, and for Melbourne, it's 12 points. Emily Suckling.
Yeah,
So Courtney Gaze only has 1 point. She's only played 7.5 minutes though.
Yeah, but I think that's probably quite normal. You know, they're looking at not necessarily having her for the entire season. So they did this last year as well, where they knew that she was going away early.
And Phoebe Gaze only with no score. They only played 11 minutes.
Yeah.
And they're up by 1.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how that game pans out today. If Melbourne can pull off a win in round 1 against a team that made the finals the last 2 seasons, that is a very good effort. Okay, ball back into play here for Melbourne. Well, they need a very good effort to come back from 20 points down against, well, a defending champ from a couple of years ago, and of course a runner-up from last year here, Melbourne. They've got to play absolutely picture-perfect basketball here, and I mean no mistakes. Here's a 3 to get us underway. Good start. Margin is 17. Let's see what Melbourne are made of. They're down by 17 points at the moment. Kilsyth with the ball, banks it home.
Great basket under pressure there.
Margin's 19. So Melbourne with the ball now. And here's another 3. Short. Rebound, and here comes Kilsyth. So they need to stop Kilsyth in every single possession to have a chance. Here's the 3 in the way. Oh, just made it home. There, essentially a 2. I do apologise. 2-pointer there. 50-29. Now Melbourne. Here's another 3. Got it. And that was a 3. Margin is 18.
Yeah, look, one of the things too about the Melbourne program is that they do bring on the juniors, and the juniors are usually very, very good. So whilst this is an inexperienced team, expect them
just
to...
made in the oh, hang on. Oh, sorry. I thought he always got that.
You know, you've just seen there that they are going to be competitive. Give them another 3 months, and they'll surprise a few teams, I think.
Of course, Melbourne used to be one of those dominant teams in the Big V. And they somehow got it away. He drives around the basket. Oh, that was almost a carry. But anyway, Kilsyth got it back. He's missed it. And here comes Kilsyth. Bounce passes inboard here. Here's a 2 on the way. And a foul has been called here. Unfortunately, that one hasn't quite helped us with the numbers here. Robinson with the foul.
Yes, I should know number 20, and I cannot remember his name.
At the line is Daniel Jensen. Missed the first. Second shot. Missed both. Very unlike Kilsyth to miss both at the line. And here's Melbourne with the ball. Dries up. Stops and props. Oh, great passing ball. Block, but it's a foul. Melbourne pound away in the game against Sandringham, leading by 5. Might just go by the live stats, I think, on this one. So at the line is Russell. Missed the first. Mates both. Oh no, missed one, sorry. 1 from 2. Margin is 17. 17 points to margin. Kilsyth in the lead. And they've been in the lead from the get-go. Up and under shot here. Short there by Truella and his Chancey on the left side. Back to the top.
24, so...
Here's a Chancey.
Oh,
great fake. And banks it home. Will count the basket as well. There by Adrian Tronada.
And that was a big guy throwing inside to the small guys. Not something you see all that often, but it was a great look.
Puts Kilsyth score to 52.
With one to come.
This to put it back to 20 again. And I must say, Andrew, Melbourne have been very competitive in the last 2 quarters. Oh, hang on. As soon as I said that, they've just turned it over in their own back court. Kilsyth resets. Kilsyth, a chance to extend that lead. Here's the 2, short. And here comes Melbourne now. Now Kilsyth on themselves, a 3-on-1. Short, and the foul's been called. And Tamnada is a little hurt at the moment. This is the 3rd quarter. So at the line is Shaquille Maraja. I do apologise if I say his last name. But
Maharaj.
Well, he's missed both. So he cannot miss free throws either against Kilsyth. Here's Tamnada.
Oh, huge 3.
Margin is 23. Here comes Melbourne. Trailing by 23. Up for 2. Short there by... This is another chance for 3. Oh. Well, he says, take that, Samnada. I can do better. And hits the 3. Margin back to 20. Back to the top. Left side. Here's Adam. Drives around. Up and under. Lost the handle there. Here they come, Melbourne. Melbourne swings an inboard. Here's another pull back 3. Short. Not by much. And here they come. 6:05.
Not a lot of offense happening here. It's pull up and shoot. Exciting game, though.
20 points the margin. Here's a 2. Short. Here it goes. Sorry, I keep saying short.
Yeah, as it goes long. Over.
Long.
Yeah.
Here's a 3.
And
well long.
Well long. That one was long. As Adnam picks up the rebound. He didn't have to move. It basically just fell straight into his lap there.
And with it now. Swings it out. Here's
good
screen. Back outside. Here's the left side. And no good that time. And here they come now from Melbourne. This is Hernandez now. Drives to the basket. Well short of the mark at that time. Now I can actually call that was short.
That was short.
And here they come now. Bounce pass here for Kilsyth. Faith now with the ball. Back to the top. Left side. Back now. Back. They turn it to the right. Here's the drive here from Fred now. Now here's his chance to a 3-way bomb. Got it. Kisses off the glass. Margin is 23.
Now, that wasn't short.
No, that was bank home kissing off the glass that time.
That was straight there.
Margin now is 23 now. Can Mel respond with another 3? They seem to keep responding with 3s lately. A drive for 2. No, back up there. Left side. This is Robinson. Miss a 2. And then a foul. And it's for over the top.
Called against Melbourne?
It is.
Yeah.
Team foul number 2.
3.
3. Tell you what. Score benches are very, very quick or very slow. Timeout's been called. Timeout 59-36. Andrew. And what we've seen from Melbourne, I thought was going to be a huge blowout happening. They've done very, very well. They lost the second quarter by a point and trailing this quarter by 3 after Kilsyth jumped out to a 27-8 lead at quarter time.
Yeah, they certainly, yeah, they have done. Now, how are we going over in the girls' game?
Well, my last update was Melbourne by 5. It's Melbourne by 4.
With
2:04 in the third.
2:04 in the third.
So, tell you what though, Andrew, we're slowly catching up to the other game now. Very slowly.
Well, they cut the warm-up time down by 5 minutes as well, so they've made up a little bit of time here.
So we're about 2 minutes behind the other game at the moment, or 2.5 behind the other game. I was going to say, well, we're all tied at 45 now, Andrew. Sandringham and Melbourne, VYC women. Tell you what, Sandringham probably don't want to be the first team to lose to Melbourne. Here they come. It's Kilsyth with the ball, and it's Tomnada with the ball. Bounce passes now to Adam now. Back to the right side. This is Jensen. Here's Tomnada for 3. Short. Rebound. We're not short. Just a little long.
That Melbourne squad, though, is a pretty stacked squad. They've got a very good squad in there.
Correct. That's the women's we're talking about, of course.
Yeah.
45 apiece. In that one. 59-36. Back to the top. Left side. Tomnada now drives in. 5 on the shot clock. Has to shoot. Misses. Kilsyth just starting to miss some shots now. The longer Kilsyth doesn't score, the better that will be for Melbourne. But Melbourne, on the other hand, hasn't done any good themselves. They've missed that one. Down the other end now for Kilsyth. 8 on the shot clock. Here's a 3. Well, Luke Moon just says, hang on.
That was a 2, obviously.
61-36 it was. My mistake. He might have just stepped on the line.
Yep.
Melbourne with the ball. They'll go for 3. That's a little long. And Melbourne sent to get the offensive rebound.
Yeah, it was a bit scrappy in there, trying to get that rebound itself.
Here's a jumper 2, short. And here they come. 3:08 remaining. 25 points the margin. Adam, get out of here.
Alley-oop to Adnam, and it was a foul. No, it wasn't a foul.
No, that's a block.
Just a block.
Very good block too. Bounce pass. Oh,
great.
Kilsyth does that to perfection right there.
Yeah.
Melbourne caught off guard. It's 27 points.
Yeah, I'm going to have to look at that tape there on that inbound and see if I can steal that one, I think.
Margin is 27. Adam now, left side. Here's a 2 on the way. Got it.
And a timeout.
And Melbourne, all of a sudden, after doing very, very well for about a quarter and a half, has found themselves in a big hole right now.
Yep. Coming up to 20 points, I'd say this is almost the game right here.
And Andrew, I would say it's almost about the game in the other game too, because Sandringham are playing very poorly against Melbourne, 52-45. Oh, keep in mind,
for those people who are inclined to say, hey, why have we fixed the 2 games on at the same time? Well, it wasn't. This has all come about because of a very long game in the first game.
Correct. Which happened in the very first game, in the very first quarter.
Yeah.
1 minute. It was 1 minute 46 to go in the first. Eltham led by 15 points. Kilsyth only managed 2 points up to that stage. And Taylor Black drive to the basket. and got hit with very, very hard. How do I call it?
Oh, she ran into the defensive player.
Correct.
Rebounded off and fell down, hit her head really quite hard on the floor. So no poor behaviour on anyone's part. It was just one of those unfortunate things. But that game ended up going 2 hours and 19 minutes. As a result, this game here has started somewhat late. Otherwise, we'd be able to be watching the girls' game for real.
Correct. Drives in, back up the top, left side. Oh, great pass there. The margin now. Now, just to let you know, and then on the other hand, on the other court, while we were still struggling to catch up the time with their time, they went into an overtime game, Ballarat and Diamond Valley.
Yeah, so there's been some great games on the other show court here.
And I tell you what, I don't know. We actually chose the right court at the end. Thinking about it now, Andrew.
Well, yes, you can do what you can do.
Correct. Margin currently at 31. Foul. Five-point lead to Melbourne. 9:47 remaining.
So we may have to look at live streaming both courts next year.
Correct. Might have to have two commentary teams, Andrew, next season.
Yeah, I'm certain. Well, we could put the call out now. That there you go, another 2.
Margin is blowing out to 33.
So I know that there are Kilsyth fans watching online right now, and thank you to the Kilsyth Facebook page administrator who put the link up.
Oh, fantastic!
So, yep, any of the Kilsyth guys, if you want to join the commentary team or alternatively the streaming team, please feel free to get in contact with us.
Correct. I'll let Andrew or myself. So margin is currently at 32. Especially the final series, Andrew. That's going to be huge, the final series.
Yep.
Of course, Smash FM and Falcons TV will be outing for us in the final series in particular, like we did last season.
Yep. And I know that we did have an awful lot of positive feedback from the Kilsyth community after they played at Waverley last year and the year before.
And actually they've done there's a 3-pointer there from Melbourne. Of course, they actually starting to do their own one as well, which is great to see.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And it was, I was about to actually compliment them on that. So I'm looking forward to another club getting involved. The more we can do this sort of stuff and showcase what our sport offers, the better.
And especially with the youth level, especially the college system, we'll be definitely watching the youth side of things.
Yeah, well, they certainly do. I know that, for instance, when I was looking at the stats from yesterday.
Yep.
And it takes a good 24 hours, 48 hours for all of the figures to come through from the servers all around the world. But we had, at that stage, we had five viewers from the US.
Oh, fantastic!
For yesterday's games, and they stayed online for quite some time. So which for most of the guys in the States would have been
very early in the morning. Maybe trying to do some scouting, I've got a feeling.
Or alternatively, it's some of the guys just keeping up with what's going on back in their clubs here in Australia. So,
of course,
we do get a lot of feedback from people overseas about the games.
Of course, if Gonzaga, after the West Coast Conference finals there, over there. I've got an interview planned with Georgia Sturton and a couple of her teammates over at Gonzaga.
Fantastic.
So keep an eye out.
Who have you got lined up, or don't you know?
We're hoping to get Ellie
Tinkle, yeah.
Tinkle.
Now, her dad is a basketball coach, and I believe is at one of the other colleges as well. So, really, she's been a real standout this year. Having to come into the squad as a starter after an injury to one of the other seniors, but she'll be there next year along with Georgia.
And it's a very good team too. Very good starting five.
Yeah. So
Kilsyth just turned it over, and Melbourne makes them pay there through Hajara. Margin 26. Sorry, Andrew. 26 points the margin here to Melbourne. Kilsyth. Count the basket and the foul. Period number 4. 9.5 remaining. Yeah, so that's what we plan to do after their West Coast Conference Finals.
So that should be good fun.
Which, stay tuned to Smash... Well, watch out our Smash FM Facebook page for that. So 73-45, 9.5 remaining, first term. Fourth term. Thank goodness it's fourth term.
What, you're that fresh that it feels like the first term?
Yes.
For those that...
It's been a long day.
Yeah. Those that have been watching online, we've been here all day.
From 12 o'clock. Yep. Here's a drive. Short. Rebound, and off we go. And of course, the BigV season is well and truly underway. Out it goes. Don't forget, tomorrow, Smash FM will be coming to you live here from Dandenong. We're going to interview some players and broadcast a final of the pre-season tournament. So stay tuned to when we be broadcasting that. And of course, Falcons TV, of course, we'll be back into it starting on Sunday, next Sunday, with a doubleheader from the Waverley Basketball Stadium.
Yep, and for those that are interested in something different, on Saturday we're actually doing a book launch from the Docklands Library.
Okay.
So we just mixing it up there, Will. You know?
Here's a 3-point for Kilsyth. Well, Kilsyth now just putting on a show right now in the last quarter. Drives in, fires to 2, got it. Right on there by Bachani. And then the margin is 29.
So there you go. You know, book launched to champ games.
Here's Kilsyth with the ball. 9 seconds on the shot clock. Banks it home. Good start. At the moment, the Smash FM schedule looks like this next week. We might be possibly going to Nutter Whiting on Saturday for a doubleheader there at the Graveyard. And then on Sunday, it's a triple header starting at 10:30 at this stage from Altona. So that's going to be a long day already. Margin currently at 31. Ball back into play. 78-47, 7:35 remaining. As Kilsyth with the ball. Brings it out now. This is Corbett with it now. Drives to the basket. Swings back to the right. Here's the 2 on the way. Short. And a rebound for Melbourne. 31 points to margin. Watson holding HSV. Bandura scoreboard. Drives in. Fires. And that will be a foul against Kilsyth. And that's their first. Let's have a look at the VYC women's game. And Melbourne are starting to pull away. 61-55. 5 and 57 seconds left. Missed the first. Second shot. Missed both. Out it goes. So Kilsyth with the ball. Leading by 31, 78-47. 6:59 to go as they try to stop and prop here. Back to the right. Here's the 3 on the way. No. Rebound now. And here comes the Melbourne Tigers with the ball. This is Swaney. With the ball, Swaney. Passes to the right, chops off, but got it back. Here's a 2, short. And I tell you what, though, Andrew, that's pretty dark on that far right-hand corner.
Yeah.
Here's the 2 on the way. Count the basket and the foul, and Jamie Cubbett will go line, shooting the bonus. I'm not sure. But what we can see here on the left side, of course, when we get the camera to go to the other end, you will see there's a big dark spot on the right-hand side.
Yeah, there's a globe that's out down the baseline there.
Margin is 34. And you'll see that in just a moment when we swing the camera to the left of screen. There it is, top left-hand corner. Here's a 3 on the way. No. Rebound now, and here comes Kilsyth. So 81-47, 34 points to the margin in favour of Kilsyth. Right side. This is Tamnada. Tamnada for 3. No. Rebound. Now, of course, Kilsyth averaged 100 points or more throughout the season, the last 2 seasons.
Yeah, they're very quick down the floor. They get down the pine and they're quick to release too. So
Banks home at 2. Margin is 32. So Mel can get can stop the bleeding here and stop Kilsyth getting to 100. That's probably a good result for Melbourne. Swings it up. Here's the 3. Yes. Timeout, Melbourne. And Matt McCain says, no, Melbourne's not going to stop us getting to 100. It's 84-49. With 5:19 remaining, we've got a 35-point ball game. Over in the other court, Andrew, it's a 3-point game. It is Melbourne 64, Sandringham 61.
Well, that explains why we haven't had a few people wandering in and having a look here. It's obviously
more entertaining on the other game.
Yeah.
So there you go. So earlier today, in the national competitions, it was New Zealand sweeping the Cairns Taipans to win the NBL championship in 2 games over in New Zealand, and it was the Townsville Fire winning their first ever WNBL championship and breaking. Get this, Andrew. They have broken a 4-year dominance by a Victorian team.
Which is great effort from them. It's a really good effort. And
because, of course, Bulleen won the first, Melbourne / Bulleen won it in 2011. Dandenong won in 2012, and Bendigo has won the last 2 before then. So finally, an interstate team has won the championship. And who would have guessed after what happened 4 or 5 years ago to Townsville that Townsville will win a championship.
Yeah, and particularly as their men's team is struggling for sponsorship and struggling to stay alive as well.
Yeah, all of a sudden it's gone the opposite, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Up there in the far north. Of course, Queensland teams, of course, if there's no success, good luck keeping your team alive. Because it's obviously it's a struggle up in Queensland, because we've seen it with Brisbane teams. They actually haven't got a basketball team down there at all. Of course, it used to be the Bullets, and then the Bullets was gone, and then Logan Thunder went as well, came and gone. So
yeah, there seem to be a couple of bids though for next season.
well short, put back, missed.
Both a Brisbane-based men's team and probably a southern-based girls team.
Oh, that's great to see, because I think they need it down there in southeast Queensland, personally. And Kilsyth just rolling on the points. It's 39 points the margin. As I said, if Melbourne cannot concede the next 12 points, that'd probably be a very good result. But at the moment,
Look, you know, they're not going to get there by just getting down there and taking the first shot that's available to them without getting players back into the key.
this is that time for Kilsyth. Now Kilsyth is only 12 points away to 100.
And there's a foul.
And there's a foul.
Yeah.
Tanada has committed the foul, and after the foul, he takes a break. Just like that. Melbourne leading by 4, 2:26 remaining. Well, let's hope that, well, Andrew, we've still got a chance that game can go to OT, that girls' game.
Don't wish it on them.
No. Margin's 37. Well, it's very close to it. It's 51-88 here. Kilsyth in front. 65-61 Melbourne.
Oh, that was almost a treble.
Here comes Kilsyth. Drives to the basket. Back up the top. Here's Cuppet. Back to the left side. Here's the chance for... No, there's pass to the cross. 3 on the shot clock. And banks it home. And Kilsyth are on 90. Melbourne 51. 2:56 remaining. Melbourne pulling away now to a 6-point advantage. 1:56 remaining. Misses. Out it goes. It is a Melbourne possession. It's great to see the fans still hanging around. Melbourne with a 2 on the way. Short rebound. Out it goes. Goes back to Melbourne. I'll tell you what, Melbourne can just hang on here and keep the ball in their half. Kilsyth won't get to 100.
It's a bit sad that that's what we're using as our milestone.
Yeah, correct. Ball back into play. Oh, great putt. No, goes stream board. Here's a 2 on the way. Short that time here by McIntyre. Goes with a putback. No, goes again. Banks on. Count the basket and the foul.
Yeah, foul from behind there.
And Russell will go line for the bonus. It's 90-53. Timeout by Kilsyth. And the coach there, Peter Godfrey, not happy with what he's seen on the court.
From his perspective, I can understand why he wants it, but I'll tell you what, after a very long day.
Probably not. 2:32 remaining here in the final quarter. 1 minute 38 in the final quarter in the girls' game. It's Melbourne by 6. What a dream start that will be for Melbourne. They can get off to a round 1 win. Or round 1, part 1. Now, of course, if you finish bottom overall in VYC, you drop back to Youth League 1. So that's what it's at stake. And of course, the winner of Youth League 1 women will go up in season 2016.
Yep, and so we've got a one shot here.
1:15 to go in Melbourne, 67, Sandringham 61. And I tell you what, now yesterday I said to someone the other day that I can guarantee that Melbourne's going to finish bottom in the girls. Well, guess what? I think I've been proven wrong so far. So, mates, the bonus margin is 36. Here comes Kilsyth. Drives to the basket, up and under. All short that time by Cuppets. And a
rebound for the Tigers.
2:20 to go. 90 to 54. 36 points the margin. Back to the right. Drives, fires, banks it home. 44 points the 34. I can't do my maths tonight.
He's been good, that little point guard from Melbourne. I've liked him.
34 points. Here's Kilsyth. 3 on the way. Got it. There by Matt McCain.
And that's been the story, hasn't it? You know, Melbourne goes down, scores 2 points. Kilsyth comes back and they score a 3.
Misses the 2 there. 37 points. Kilsyth is 7 points away. Cuppet drives, fires, misses. I don't know if Kilsyth's trying to float with destiny at the moment. But the margin is currently at 37. Inboard. Drives in, script away, out it goes. Melbourne ball. 52 seconds left in the other game. It is 68-62. So I tell you what, Andrew, we're closing within less than 24 seconds between the two games. Here's the 2. Banks and Owen. Great play there
Yeah, good basket.
by Brasiceni, and the margin is 35. 107 remaining. Kilsyth won't get to 100. Let's face it. Here's a chance for 2. Miss, and definitely won't make it this time. So Melbourne's done a fantastic job in keeping Kilsyth under 100. Oh, and
almost. Got time.
Oh no, I don't know if I just said my sorrows and got that one home this time. Margin is 37 and it's 95 on the board. Surely Kilsyth won't make it. Surely. So it's all the way, drives it up, banks it home, so that puts them to 60. 95-60, 30 seconds left.
They still have time to make it, but they need to push the ball quickly.
So down to 16. Here's a 3. Way off.
That's it. It's all done.
Yep.
They're not going to make it.
Oh!
He's trying to con the ref.
I don't think they can do it now, Kilsyth.
No, it was a good call from her. She wasn't going to change her mind.
10 seconds left.
And the Melbourne player is doing the right thing. Just
correct. Making sure.
No, he's going to actually use the time up. He's going to
goes up. 3 on the way. On the buzzer. Got it. Melbourne has done a very good job. 32 points was the margin at the end. They did get blown out in the first quarter, but after that, Andrew, they've done very well.
Look, there's moments there. There's moments there of good play and so on, but too many times just going down the floor. First pass, shot goes up, nobody rebounding. No. And Kilsyth was quite accurate on the shots. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that is us.
Correct. And guess what, Andrew? We actually beat the other court. They're still going. 68-62, 32 seconds left.
I think Melbourne might get 1 out of the 2 today, so that's it. So for Falcons TV, we'll see you next weekend, live from the Falcons Nest in Waverley Basketball Stadium. And you'll hear Will, as he said before, from Nunawading and Altona.
But I will be back here tomorrow to be advised when the time will be.
Okay. See you then.
See you then.